Hey guys, and welcome back to XO Medical Spa. Today I want to do an episode that happens very often. I want to bring up a picture. I did fillers and Botox, fillers and Dysport on my friend, I think about a month ago. And then she left the country and then she WhatsApped me while she was out of the country because she was seeing some asymmetry. So I tried to discuss it and walk her through it, but you can imagine, even for my friend who's in the aesthetic field, was still asking me questions about asymmetry and what is going on with her face. So let's go over her pictures, her before and afters, and then let's discuss the explanation that I gave to her and then how we came to a resolution with what she perceived she was seeing when we come back. All right guys, so I'm gonna pull up a picture here. Very good friend of mine, we did fillers, we did Dysport, and to review, she contacted me when she was out of town. She's been out of the country traveling. And she asked me about some asymmetries, about her lips, about her cheeks, and then what can be done to resolve the situation. So let's look at this picture right here. We're gonna draw on my iPad. So if we look at her before, if we look at her after, and I think this is about 2 weeks. I can't say for sure, but it wasn't when everything was fully settled. Originally, what we were trying to do is fix our under eyes, and then of course we did Dysport all throughout. But what was happening was, see how vertical she is, guys? We've talked about the traditional female shape as being the V shape of youth, so that's what we were trying to get to. Because she was vertical, we had to bring out her cheeks, but also support her mid-face. So after, she was saying, how come my left side of my mouth is lower? How come one of my cheeks is bigger? So those were the two main questions. She's like, hey, did I have these, actually she said, I have these asymmetries, what can be done about it, and can I see you when I get back? I'm like, sure, but let's take a look at that together. So what I did was, I made this before and after picture for her, and I sent it to her. And before I sent it to her, I said, hey, what's going on? Let's figure out before. We've mentioned this in the past. And let me pull up the tool here. All of our faces have a high side. All of our faces have a low side. So if you look at her face, this is her high side, this is her low side. Eyebrows are lower, her mouth is lower, but what is really going on? If you look at her temples, this side is more hollow, hence the lower eyebrow. Her hair is covering it, but you can see we filled her temples. What you'll notice is her eyebrows are more even now, where before, there you go, there's her eyebrows. So we corrected that temple hollow, which helped correct the eyebrows. We also filled her left cheek. So now, if you look at her mouth, it is more straight. But what she was seeing was this cheek right here. If you notice, see this preauricular hollowing right here? She doesn't really have that. Look at this indentation where this side has a smoother transition from her cheek to her lower face. Because this side is lower, it's not because of her cheek, but it's actually this hollow. When you hollow in this area, the skin that is held back over here, it's descending forward. But also, because this whole side is more hollow, everything is sinking on this side. So we have a limitation when it comes to fillers. I don't like to put fillers into this hollow because I think it weighs you down. There's other options including PDO threads, sculpture, where we can lift that side. So what we're limited to is, if we want to bring this whole side up with fillers, remember, fillers, the limiting factor is volume. So if I put volume into these two sides, I technically have to put more volume here because I'm trying to pick this side up. However, if I increase this volume too much, it's gonna make this hollow even worse. So that is my limiting issue. So the asymmetry that she's seeing already exists in her cheek, but it's amplified because she never really looked at herself straight on until we do fillers. And if you guys recall, the only person that looks at you straight on is you in the mirror. All other situations, we look at ourselves at angles. But as soon as we do fillers, as soon as we do Botox, what do? We go straight to the bathroom mirror and we look and we assess. But if we go back to that picture, overall, she looks tremendously improved. So there's her difference in her line right there. You can see how vertical she was before, where now she's more V-shaped. Her other side will always be her best side because that hollow doesn't exist. But you can see, look what we did to that cheek. We brought it out and created that angle. Where here, she's more vertical. But that's why she looks a little bit younger, looks a little bit more refreshed, and looks brighter overall. And there we go. All we did was a little bit of cheek filler, knowing we can't go out too much because it will make this hollow worse. A little bit of cheek filler over here. I can't recall, but we may have done a little bit of chin projection, and then of course we did the temple hollows, because with that temple hollow, what we did was correct the asymmetry in her brows. So I'll pause it there. Look at that gap between her brow before and her brow today. Oop, I think I lost that line. Let me redo that line. There you go. No gap versus gap before. So those are some of the asymmetries that she was seeing. So overall, much improved, but that is the explanation that I commonly have to have with patients, because we don't notice asymmetries until we start doing fillers. We don't know asymmetries because once we start amplifying and accentuating things, we'll notice those differences, but there's also limitations from it. Although she was seeing asymmetries in her cheek, because one side was hollow, there's a limit on how much cheek we can do here. Other things we can do when she gets back: PDO threads to lift, PDO threads to assist this hollowing, and then also sculpture. Because sculpture, yes, can fill this hollowing, but it won't weigh you down like fillers. There's more to lift and tighten through that collagen effect. And then lastly, we can also discuss Easy Gel, which Easy Gel is fantastic for this area as well, because we're building collagen, filling out volume without adding extra weight. So I hope that explanation helps. It's a common explanation I have to have with patients, especially during follow-ups. And we've talked about in the past, follow-ups are crucial for understanding what's going on and how we can progress forward. So again, if you like these episodes, remember to subscribe, like it, and then share with plenty of other people, because these conversations don't happen with just one patient. It happens with everyone, and especially with my friend. She's in the aesthetic field, and we still had to add that explanation together. So I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.